Tonight on CTV News at 6. Human Rights Challenge.
Administration would then need the permission of the ministry to do it.
The faculty union at Laurentian University is fighting over pension plan bargaining. When will they meet?
We've been giving them enough chances since 2011. This is when the school projects began.
The Near North District School Board postpones its meeting with Parry Sound Town Council. And she's no longer homeless.
I don't have to freeze to go to the bathroom.
A Sudbury woman living in a tent now has a more permanent roof over her head.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being with us on this Monday. There is a heavy police presence this hour on Manitoulin Island. Police are asking people to avoid the Bidwell Road and Pine Lake Road area in Asiguanack Township. CTV is following this story, and we will have more details as they become available. One person is dead after a collision involving a pedestrian in Sault Ste. Marie. Saturday around 6:30 p.m., police were called to Daisy Road and Terry Fox Place where a 91-year-old suffered life-threatening injuries. The pedestrian was taken to hospital where they died. Police say no charges have been laid. Two people were arrested Friday in North Bay on weapons charges. Police seized a semi-automatic handgun, a revolver-style BB gun, ammunition, and bear spray. Investigators say they also confiscated cash and a 2018 Nissan. Police saw the two accused making a suspected drug buy at a business on Lakeshore Drive. A 37-year-old West Nipissing man and a 29-year-old woman from Mississauga are now facing several charges. The Near North District School Board is in more hot water. The board postponed a presentation tomorrow to Parry Sound Council and hasn't rescheduled. And as CTV's Eric Tashner tells us, members of the board were set to give an update on the delayed school.
Parents waiting for clarity on the delayed Parry Sound school build will have to wait a little longer to hear the details.
We've been giving them enough chances since 2011. This is when the school projects began.
Director of Education Craig Miles and Board Chairperson Ashley St. Pierre were set to provide an update on the new JK to grade 12 school build to Parry Sound Town Council. They were also supposed to answer questions following a scathing 33-page Ministry of Education governance review, which found dysfunction and leadership issues. But the meeting has been postponed with no new date provided. The ministry wants the school board to improve transparency, provide consistent and timely communication, and rebuild trust with the community. The board chair issued this statement. A date hasn't been confirmed yet as our reorganizational meeting is Tuesday this week. We don't know who the chair and vice chair will be until then. Also, the Director of Education was/is unable to attend virtual and in person. An in-person meeting with the Parry Sound community, led by Miles, was one of 15 directives the Ministry of Education has laid out. The board had 10 days to hold that gathering and failed to meet the deadline. Education Minister Paul Calandra has threatened to intervene if the school board doesn't meet the recommendations. Parry Sound Council will now vote Tuesday night to request the Education Minister to address the situation. The mayor sent us this statement. I believe that the directives spell out exactly what the director was supposed to do. This was not done.
Although our board is the perfect example of mismanagement and incompetence, Minister Calandra's agenda for Bill 33 still isn't going to solve the issues we're currently facing.
St. Pierre hopes that after Tuesday's meeting and depending on who is elected as chair, a new date would be rescheduled. She adds that if she is re-elected, she wants the meeting arranged right away. The board also plans on hosting a community parent session soon. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
The Laurentian University Faculty Association is launching a charter challenge against the province. It's over what LUFA believes is interfering with its free and fair collective bargaining process. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
Launching today a charter challenge
against the government of Ontario.
The president of LUFA says a loan agreement between the government of Ontario and university administration includes language that limits the possibility of bargaining the terms of the pension plan until 2038.
The administration would then need the permission of the ministry to do it. And that was an important priority that our members signaled to us, through a survey that was circulated almost 2 years ago, in which they expressed the strong desire to see our pension plans out of the hands of the Laurentian University administration.
They've expressed interest in joining the university pension plan. That's a pooled pension plan where a number of Ontario universities have joined. It's got a much larger pool of assets. It has a more diversified investment pool, and it offers more security for pensions. So if you want to create a greater feeling of security, you should let this happen.
On Monday, LUFA made the announcement alongside the Canadian Association of University Teachers and the Ontario Confederation of University Faculty Associations.
We're seeing increasing pressure from governments on collective bargaining, on union rights, and this fight matters for all of us. Yeah, we have to push back or we will see more and more of this kind of thing.
CTV News reached out to the university and was told no one was available for an on-camera comment, but released a statement. The concerns raised by the Faculty Association would have to be addressed by the courts. As a result, Laurentian is not in a position to comment on them any further. The 2021 Companies Creditors Arrangement Act put a halt to negotiations between LUFA and the administration and imposed a contract on faculty that included salary cuts, changes to the pension plan, and job losses.
We want to give bargaining the chance to work as it should. But in the meantime, yeah, for sure, the administration should understand that we mean business.
The two sides started meeting on non-contentious issues last week and will exchange full bargaining packages on Tuesday. As of right now, it's unclear if a strike will or will not take place. Lindsay Alec, CTV News, Sudbury.
CTV reached out to the Ministry of Colleges, Universities, Research Excellence and Security that provided a written statement saying, in part, we provided a long-term loan to Laurentian University based on their ability to achieve financial sustainability and maintain operations. This agreement is in place until 2038 to support the institution's accountability, transparency, and financial discipline while ensuring minimal disruption to students. Now let's talk weather. A rather cool day out there as we get closer to the end of November, and when the mercury dips, precipitation is not far behind. To tell us if we are going to get some soon, here's CTV's Amanda Hicks filling in for Rick Wyman.
Thanks, Tony, and you are so right. We're seeing those temperatures dropping. It has been a little bit chilly out there today and over the last weekend as well. Some messy weather we saw throughout the weekend, but the good news is we are going to see a little bit of a break from that over the next couple days. Depending on where you are, we might see some sunshine. You're definitely going to want to have those winter coats handy, some sunglasses as well too, but we are going to see a little bit of a messy system heading our way by the time the weekend rolls around. I'll have more on that coming up a bit later on. Tony.
Thanks, Amanda. They are called Forever Chemicals. Still to come on CTV News at 6. We head to North Bay and clean up efforts at the local airport and military base. And the province is looking to make changes to the sex offender registry.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
People in North Bay are getting an update this week on PFAS, often known as forever chemicals, at the Jack Garland Airport and Canadian Forces Base North Bay. Last fall, crews began removing contaminated soil. In January, the city confirmed 1/3 of the soil was taken away for treatment, and it was effective. The city would move to a new phase of remediation if necessary. Officials from the city and the Department of National Defense will co-host a public information session Wednesday afternoon. Provincial police are investigating a fire in Moosonee. Fire broke out this morning at the Moosonee Lodge on Revillen Road around 11:15. Fire crews were able to get the blaze under control around 2, but expected the fire to continue to burn for several more hours. You can learn more about this and all our stories on our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. The Nipissing West detachment of the OPP has officially implemented body-worn cameras. The BWCs are worn on the front of every officer's vest and will flash red when recording. The province has been adding these cameras to each region, and the Nipissing West detachment had its final group of officers trained on the new camera. Each officer will be responsible for using the cameras.
The officers are trained to turn it on whenever we're interacting with the public, unless there's a reason not to, but of course we have to be accountable why we didn't turn it on and justify why it's not on for that reason. For example, if an individual is under arrest and they want to speak to their lawyer, we have to turn the camera off for their privacy reasons.
Lewis says that these cameras are going to enhance accountability and transparency and increase the quality of evidence. The Ford government is considering changes which would make some information from the province's sex offender registry public. The Premier even suggesting he would use the notwithstanding clause to make sure the change could not be challenged.
The Ford government's contemplating opening up Ontario's registry for sex offenders.
To protect our communities, protect them from people like these. I can't even put the word out there. They're a bunch of diddlers. I can't stand them. They make me sick.
This comes a few weeks after Canada's highest court struck down mandatory minimum sentences for possession of child pornography.
What is the Supreme Court thinking?
And in September, hundreds of people showed up to a Niagara area courthouse after someone on the sex offender registry allegedly broke into a home and sexually assaulted a toddler. That's prompted many Niagara councils to ask upper levels of government
to amend the Sex Offender Information Registration Act.
Legislation to be introduced next week will start the ball rolling.
Have meetings with our stakeholders to see what information can be released.
Doug Ford already clear about some specifics he wants shared.
You have a sex offender and he's living next door down the street and you have a bunch of kids. You want to know about it.
It's going to put some people at risk, I think.
This former Toronto police detective explains the problem is what people do with the information.
Are we going to be looking at vigilantism in neighborhoods, demonstrations in front of homes?
With more eyes watching, there may be more calls to police.
Because the person who's on the sex offender registry was walking past a community center. And people are going to say, oh, I'm calling the police right away because obviously he's in breach.
I asked the Solicitor General if he'd thought about possible vigilantism.
And that gives a person who's on the registry a greater awareness that, you know, they must behave, they must uphold the laws.
The Premier expects this proposal to be challenged in court, but isn't deterred.
I'll use the notwithstanding clause in a heartbeat.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
An update right now on a 60-year-old Sudbury woman who was homeless and living outdoors in a collapsed tent in Energy Court. She now has a place to live indoors and is grateful to the people who reached out to help. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
Christine Robert, who has mental health issues and osteoarthritis in her back and hip, is now living in a rooming house.
I don't have to freeze to go to the bathroom. I don't have to freeze to go in to get somewhere warm.
We first told you her story earlier this month when she was living in a collapsed tent. She had been homeless since April after being evicted from Sudbury housing for not looking after her apartment, something she admits was her own fault. She says after this story aired, many people offered new tents and supports.
I really appreciated it. Like, it came at a very, very helpful time and desperate time because I did not know where I was going to go or do.
Outreach workers also helped her connect with the landlord of the rooming house, who also saw the story.
Yes, very, very grateful. You don't know how much. She's a lifesaver.
The Go Give project confirms it helped Robert with support and transportation from Energy Court to the rooming house where she pays to stay. Robert says she has compassion and deep concerns for everyone living outdoors right now.
I'm hoping and wishing and praying that something comes up of it, or even the city steps in and does something, because we're freezing out there. They're freezing.
Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
If you have some oak trees on your property, trees with problematic limbs or branches, now is the time to consider pruning them. That piece of advice from Sault Ste. Marie's Clean North, which says fall is the perfect time to give them a trim. Pruning can help reduce the risk of oak wilt, a deadly fungal disease that attacks them. A key way it spreads is sap-feeding beetles that are attracted to fresh wounds, but the bugs are most active during warm months, so pruning in October to March reduces the risk of infection.
Invasive insects, invasive diseases. I mean, there's all kinds of things that are putting our ecosystems at risk. So this is just a small way that homeowners can make a difference in terms of helping to protect oak trees and in turn protecting the species that oak trees support.
Clean North adds, while there's no cases recorded here yet, red oak species are particularly vulnerable to oak wilt and can die within weeks of infection. Back now for a check on your current conditions. Here's Amanda.
Thanks, Tony. And yes, you mentioned we are in fall right now. It does feel a little bit cool. That being said, we are a little bit below normal for this time of year, and we do have a few flurries here and there expected. Overnight hours and a bigger system moving through by the time Thursday rolls around, by the time we get closer to the weekend. But for now, we can enjoy a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of calmer conditions, and maybe just a few scattered flurries here and there. So kind of the calm before the storm, I like to say. But let's take a look at how things are looking outside your doorstep right now with the current conditions. And we've got mainly clear skies in Kapuskasing and Moosonee, some light snow falling in Cochrane and Timmins between -5 to -4 degrees currently. Clear skies for the most part in Wawa, a little bit more cloud coverage in Chapleau, and Sault Ste. Marie is seeing some light snowfall, a bit of a varied temperature range there between -5 to 2 degrees. And in Parry Sound, mainly cloudy skies. We're sitting at 1 degree there. And Kirkland Lake, Temiskaming Shores, more cloud coverage, light snow falling in Temiskaming Shores. And then finally, for the last 4 regions, we've got clear skies. We're sitting at the freezing mark and -2 in Greater Sudbury. That was the current conditions. Tony.
Thanks, Amanda. Crucial vote next on CTV News at 6. The Liberals' budget needs opposition votes or abstentions to pass. And the Canadian Cancer Society is warning efforts to eliminate cervical cancer have stalled. The Liberals are looking to pass the federal budget tonight, and we have learned they will be getting support from the Green Party. The government, though, still needs opposition support or some MPs to abstain. CTV's Mike LeCouture has the latest.
Now, the Liberals don't have the votes just yet, but it would seem the numbers are shifting. Here's what we know right now. The Bloc Québécois and their MPs have already indicated that they will vote against this budget. Conservatives have hinted strongly that they will do the same. But the Liberals, by mid-afternoon, did get one more vote on their side.
I will vote yes to avoid an election. I will vote yes in the confidence that the Prime Minister heard my pleas and committed to meeting our legally binding commitments under the Paris Agreement, committing to reconciliation, committing to action for adaptation to protect us from the extreme events we can no longer avoid.
Now, the key here is the NDP and their 7 MPs. They have not indicated just yet which way they will vote, but the math is pretty clear. The government either needs 2 abstentions or 1 more opposition MP to vote for their budget. If they don't get either of those 2 scenarios, the government could fall because this is a confidence vote. However, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, early today, seemingly confident that he will be getting the votes, saying that this budget is the right one for this time, and he believes that it will pass through Parliament.
What Canadians want is to invest in their country. A confident budget, a budget that moves forward, brings us together from local infrastructure to new ports, new future, more independent, stronger Canada, better Canada for all. And that's the opportunity for parliamentarians to vote today.
Now, all eyes will be on the House of Commons at 6:45 Eastern Time. That is when this vote will happen, and that is when we know if Prime Minister Mark Carney's government will survive. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
A U.S. drafted peace plan for Gaza is facing a crucial vote today that could determine how a fragile ceasefire can be converted into a long-term solution for Gaza. The plan is the next phase of the deal and opens the door to the possibility of a future Palestinian state, something Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu strongly opposes. The 15-member UN Security Council will vote on the draft resolution of the U.S. plan. It will need 9 votes to pass, but China or Russia could veto it outright. Meanwhile, the U.S. is building up its military presence near South America. The U.S. president is suggesting there may soon be discussions with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
We may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
The comments come as the U.S. military says another strike was carried out on a small boat in international waters, allegedly carrying illegal drugs Saturday. The attack on the boat is just the latest in a series of strikes in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific by the U.S. that has killed at least 83 people. An American aircraft carrier and other warships have arrived in the region, marking a major escalation in U.S. operations. After more than 2 decades of progress, cervical cancer rates are no longer declining, and the Canadian Cancer Society warns the country may not reach its goal of eliminating cervical cancer by 2040. CTV's Sarah Plowman has the details.
Every day, hundreds of Canadians hear those dreaded words, "You have cancer." For Linda Wu, that moment happened 35 years ago when she saw a doctor for her pregnancy and learned she had cervical cancer.
If I hadn't gotten pregnant, I wouldn't have known. I would have been like every other woman who discovered it when it was too late.
A new report shows after a long period of steady decline, cervical cancer rates have plateaued, even though experts say it's preventable.
This really highlights that we aren't making the progress that we had seen before.
For women aged 35 to 55, cervical cancer is actually increasing.
The rates now in 2022 are the same as they were in 1992.
The report's authors point to several factors behind the shift.
Increased transmission of human papillomavirus, or HPV as some people know it, low uptake of the HPV vaccine, lower cervical screening rates.
Dr. Amanda Selk says cervix cancer doctors are noticing more cancer cases, and some are more advanced.
Cervix cancer is a terrible, terrible disease, and if we can prevent it for so many people, if you can just get yourself screened and follow through with treatment. We treat people all the time and they do really well.
Most cervical cancers are caused by human papillomavirus, HPV. Vaccines are offered in schools, but coverage continues to lag below targets. Screening methods are also changing as provinces move to HPV testing, a move the Canadian Cancer Society wants all governments to follow.
We want to be able to say by 2040, no one will have this cancer in Canada.
The report did show that cancer mortality rates overall have gone down, and mortality rates for lung, colorectal, and bladder cancers have been declining rapidly. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Fredericton.
There's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Amanda.
Thanks, Tony. A very different story today compared to how things were looking on Friday. We saw that active system that was moving through the region, that cold front that is lingering. We are still seeing that cold weather still sticking around, and we're going to see it for the next couple days. But then by the time that we get closer to the weekend, we're going to see some plus temperatures depending on where you are. Not exactly beach weather by any means, but it is going to be warmer. So that's the good part there, and we are going to be seeing some sunshine over the next couple days. As you can see from the forecast radar here, not really a whole lot to talk about, and that's always good news, right? We don't want weather alerts. We don't want a lot of snow heading our way just yet, even though we haven't even hit winter yet. We're still a month away from that. Overnight, though, we've got partly cloudy skies in Sudbury, chance of flurries in Sault Ste. Marie, and the rest of the regions here. -6 degrees overnight in Timiskaming Shores. Chance of flurries, though, just a slight chance, not a lot, probably just a little bit of dusting of snow here and there. In Moosonee, periods of light snow overnight, -7 degrees there, -9 in Wawa with a few clouds, and then partly cloudy skies for Gore Bay and for Parry Sound. Let's get into the 7-day forecast, starting with Sudbury Nickel Belt. So for tomorrow, we've got sunny skies, high of 0 degrees, 2 degrees on Wednesday, a chance of sleet on Thursday and Friday. By Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud, high of -1, just slightly below the normal for this time of year. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, chance of flurries for tomorrow and Wednesday, sunny skies on Thursday, chance of sleet on Friday, high of 3 degrees, and then by Saturday, a chance of sleet, high of 2. For Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of flurries for tomorrow, high of -2, 1 degree on Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud, chance of sleet on Thursday, and then a chance of flurries on Friday, high of -3, continuing on into the weekend. But then by Saturday, we might see a little bit of sunshine amidst all the flurry activity there with a high of -4. For Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, -2 for tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud. Same story on Wednesday, temperatures cool off to the freezing mark. But then by Thursday, we see plus temperatures, chance of sleet, and then 1 degree on Friday, chance of sleet as well. Finally, for North Bay, West Nipissing, back-to-back sunshine for Tuesday and Wednesday, a chance of sleet on Thursday, high of 3 degrees, slightly above the normal for this time of year, and then a mix of sun and cloud on Saturday and Sunday to start the weekend. And for today's weather pick of the day, we've got a beautiful sunrise that was sent in by Nicole Sokolowski. She sent that in from Espanola. She grabbed that beautiful shot of Anderson Lake. Love those colors. Hopefully we have a lot more sunshine on the way. Thanks so much for sending that in, Nicole. There's some more news coming up. Stay with us.
The summer swim almost turned deadly, and the man who prevented a drowning near Sault Ste. Marie has been recognized for his efforts. Constable Logan Lewis with the Anishinaabe Police Service received the Heroes Beyond the Badge Award from the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police and General Motors OnStar Canada. On July 27th, Constable Lewis was off duty, wrapping up a day of swimming with his family at Harmony Beach when he was thrust into action. The officer heard screaming far off into the water and, after a long run and swim, encountered a bystander who told him that a young man was at the bottom of the lake and unresponsive. Lewis says he's glad that he and others were on scene to save a life that day.
It felt really good. Yeah, it was kind of like, when I seen him laying there, I had a really bad feeling like, hey, he's gone, but I can't just leave him there. You know what I mean? So, and then when I pulled him up, and then his eyes really bulging out of his head. So yeah, then it was good, you know, because that's somebody's son, right?
Lewis says he checked on the individual at Sioux Area Hospital and that person would be okay. Officials with the Anishinaabe Police Service say they are proud to work alongside someone who has displayed such quick thinking and selfless actions. The Holiday Smile Cookie campaign launched today with most of the Greater Sudbury locations supporting the Children's Aid Society and Tim Hortons Foundation camps. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
Smiling faces filled the room as Holiday Smile Cookies were iced in a friendly competition.
I'm so focused here. Yeah. Smile Cookie is a wonderful program because you get to buy a cookie and support a wonderful charity that is local. The Children's Aid is our charity that's supported this year. 50% of the proceeds go to the Children's Aid and 50% go to our own Tim Hortons Children's Foundation. So 100% of the proceeds are donated.
This is truly going to be able to help our families continue to thrive, and with the generosity of Sudbury and area, we're pretty excited to be part of this.
The Holiday Smile Cookie campaign started today and it ends on November 23rd. and Tim Hortons staff are icing out cookies to keep up with demand.
We pre-ordered 10 boxes, of course, and to support, and I might have just stuck another box to take home with me for my family.
We may or may not have bought a couple dozen, but we're very excited because we got some surprises coming throughout the week with Howler.
Oh goodness, we're expecting to decorate into the thousands. Yes, we started off with 1,000 this morning, and now they're quickly making more because we're going through them very quickly.
Beyond the joy of opening a box with crooked faces, each purchase directly helps Sudbury community members, which is why many of the decorators at the kickoff showed up to support.
We'd love if everybody could support local, and the fact that the Smile Cookie campaign this year is going directly to Children's Aid Society and of course the Tim Hortons Foundation is just perfect for Sudbury.
Anything that's going to promote healthy, active youth in our community, anything that's going to support our youth. We know they're our future, and so that's why I'm here.
The Tim Hortons Holiday Smile Cookie campaign began in 2023, and since then the campaign has brought in $20.5 million to help support local charities, community groups, and Tim Hortons Foundation camps. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Every community has also chosen a different charity to support. The Timmins Stan Fowler Feeding Families, North Bay Food Bank, and Sioux Area Hospital Smile Zone Foundation are just a few organizations you can help support. The Sudbury Wolves alerted their fans this weekend of an email scam. The organization says phishing emails impersonating the group are asking fans for personal details and financial credentials. They say these emails are not from the organization and are reminding fans to exercise caution and to delete or report the emails. Now for our weekend wrap-up in the OHL. The Sioux Greyhounds were on the road in Kitchener Friday night, shutting out the Rangers 4-0. In Sudbury, the Wolves started strong, ultimately falling to the Erie Otters 6-3. Sudbury would have a better showing Saturday, dampening Saginaw's spirit with a 2-1 victory. Continuing their road trip in London Sunday, the Sioux Greyhounds take a hard-fought 3-2 loss to the Knights, and the North Bay Battalion hosted the Saginaw Spirit Sunday. Their early lead slips away, but the troops hang on to win 6-5. To the NOJHL, where we take a look at the standings after another week of play. The Sudbury Cubs are creeping closer to the Hearst Lumberjacks at the top of the standings. The Powassan Voodoo started the season in top spot and are sitting 6th. Every game shuffles the standings slightly as we head toward the halfway mark of the season. The Sioux Eagles find themselves only 5 points back from the Voodoos as they continue their slow climb up the NOJHL standings. What a finish. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are Grey Cup champions for the first time in 12 years. The win comes as the CFL embarks on some drastic changes in the years to come. CTV's Scott Hurst reports.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are returning home to a hero's welcome today. Their Grey Cup victory in Winnipeg ends a championship drought for the Roughriders, who last won the Grey Cup in 2013. But to give the Montreal Alouettes credit, they made the Saskatchewan players and fans wait until the final play to start celebrating. The Alouettes with a potential chance to tie it on a last-second play to the end zone, but the pass fell incomplete. Grey Cup MVP Roughriders quarterback Trevor Harris with this message for his teammates.
And without you guys, this doesn't happen, man. We're champs forever. Let's go!
All of this happening as the CFL is set to make some significant rule changes over the next 2 years, including a major overhaul to the field of play. Smaller end zones, shorter fields, and moving the goalposts from the goal line to the back of the end zone. The changes are not sitting well with some die-hard fans who argue it's taking away the uniqueness of the Canadian game, while others say the changes are necessary to modernize the CFL and attract a whole new generation of fans. But first, a chance for the province of Saskatchewan to party as the city of Regina will be hosting the championship parade tomorrow. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Rock for a Cause still ahead on CTV News at 6. We take you to a musical event coming up in Sault Ste. Marie to support children and families.
Clothing consideration provided by
Fashion Fair. Beautiful clothing for today's woman, where quality makes the difference.
As we inch closer to Christmas, a lot of events are going to be happening to raise money for good causes. On November 30th, it will be Toy Stock 2025 Rock the Cause in Sault Ste. Marie. To tell us more, let's bring in Greg and Carrie Simpson. Hello to both of you.
Hi there, Tony.
So tell us about Rock the Cause. What's happening that day?
Well, it's goes for 10 hours. It's 10 bands, band an hour. It's quite the marathon. And all the proceeds, it's by donation, so all the proceeds go to our local Christmas cheer charity. We've got Sud Transit Stuff-A-Bus will be there. So near closer to the end of the event, everybody, all the people that are there enjoying the music, grab all the toys and everything else and help stuff the bus.
What a great idea. Carrie, what's it like to get all these bands together? You know, 10 bands for one performance, literally.
Well, it's chaotic, but it's over the years, it's kind of gotten where it's smooth, it runs itself. The bands volunteer every year. They're excited. As soon as Greg puts out, hey, we're looking for bands for this year, he usually has it booked within the first day.
Yeah, for a day or two. Yeah, it's really happy about that. Like it's good to see all the musicians get together like that.
And what kinds of music can people expect? Give us a sense.
Oh, let's see. The first band, the Associates, they're all the people from Long and McQuaid's. They do a lot of blues stuff. Other bands, let's see. We have a lot of rock.
We have country.
We have out and out country this year. So a lot of country music there. And another one is like a folky, bluesy kind of band. Always different. Every year it's always different. You know, last year we had a couple of punk bands and a couple of just solo acts. We actually had a DJ last year too.
And these bands donate their time, right? Which is really nice because they see the value in the cause. And I think you said this already, so there's no admission to gain entry.
No, it's by donation. So it's new or used toys, monetary or non-perishable food.
And this is happening at Grand Gardens. By the way, great pizza there. So if you're hungry,
yeah,
I'm sure.
It really is, yeah. And there'll be pizza for sale too.
Do you have a goal in mind? You know, how much money or toys, you know, you're looking to raise?
Did you want to take this one?
I don't think there's really a goal in mind. We'd like everybody to think about what you would want for Christmas and then go out, get it, bring it as a donation so that you can give it to somebody else.
That's the goal. The goal is to make sure that we've got a lot of happy kids out there Christmas Day.
Wow, what a great initiative. Thanks so much for your time, Greg and Carrie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greg and Carrie Simpson joined us from Sault Ste. Marie. To learn more about the event at the end of the month, head to toystock.ca. Santa Claus came to Timmins Saturday night, and the freezing rain that fell during the day did not stop him.
Oh, yes, Merry Christmas. So good to be back. Oh, yes.
Santa was at the end of a record-breaking 67 registered floats that wound their way through downtown Timmins. The theme of the 36th annual parade was lights, music, and magic, and that's what the thousands of spectators were eager to see.
I woke up this morning and there was a comment about whether or not we're going to have a parade, and I can only say the show must go on.
Well, I got 3 kids now, and it's been a tradition. We always come every year, and been doing it since I was a kid too, coming out here since I was first came to Timmins.
It always gets us in the holiday spirit. So we have 2 young kids, and they're always look forward to coming in and seeing Santa.
What's your favorite part?
All the lights and seeing all the kids being super happy.
We've come every year for many years. Always stand here, love it, love all the lights, love the people. Snow sometimes is nice too, but and of course they love to see Santa at the end.
You have a favorite float that you look for?
My best friend's float, the MKDA.
And the parade in Timmins also gives children a chance to mail out their letters to Santa and to donate food and socks to local organizations. In North Bay, Santa Claus pulled into the city Sunday afternoon. Hundreds of families lined city streets to get a glimpse of Santa Claus. There were about 45 floats in this year's parade. The theme was 100 years of Christmas in North Bay, coinciding with the city's centennial anniversary. Children say they are excited to see what Santa will leave under their trees and wonder if they've been well behaved this year.
Yeah. Most of the part. Yeah. Most of the part.
I'm very excited to open the gifts and see family.
I like seeing all the lights and spending time with my family. I like all the people waving at me.
Organizers are already looking ahead to theme ideas for next year. An annual holiday Christmas tradition kicked off in downtown Sudbury in plenty of style. Over the weekend, downtown Sudbury held its annual holiday market. Durham Street was blocked off for all the fun as the core was transformed into a winter wonderland. There was a lot of things happening, including festive food options, an official tree lighting, a brass band, and a night vendor market.
We've got some places doing some great Christmas cocktails. Got Studio 35 doing some great Christmas clothing and things to keep warm for the season. So we've got lots of fun things happening.
We're looking for the lighting of the Christmas lights and hot chocolate, because that's yummy.
Well, I was on Facebook and scrolling along, and I thought, you know what, I've never been to a tree lighting. So we decided to come out, and great place to buy Christmas presents. Yeah.
Likewise, we enjoy it and wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
And speaking of holiday events in Sudbury, we're just 5 days away from Santa's big arrival, and preparations are underway.
Merry Christmas.
Downtown Sudbury and its volunteers are putting together one of the city's favorite annual traditions. The Sudbury Santa Claus Parade kicks off this Saturday at 5 and weaves its way through the downtown core. But before it can, it's a bigger route this year, and organizers are looking for a little help from those who are able.
Santa Claus is a stickler for safety, so he's asking us to try and find a few more volunteers to help marshal the parade so that we can keep the route nice and big so that people can spread out and be comfortable, and also be able to pop into the shops downtown, have fun while they're down here.
And the parade will start at St. Anne Road at Notre Dame Avenue and wind its way through the downtown. You can catch the parade Saturday starting at 5. A pair of famed directors are heading to the final frontier, and actress Judy Greer is honored for her international charity work. David Daniel has more in tonight's Hollywood Report.
You know, it really had to be about relatable people that you would invest in and care about their journey.
Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly's next journey is to the stars. The filmmakers behind Game Night and Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves are set to write, direct, and produce a new Star Trek movie for Paramount. It's been nearly a decade since the last big-screen Trek film.
I can't honestly believe I'm getting honored for something that I really love to do. It's like getting a trophy for eating cupcakes and petting dogs.
Judy Greer received the Global Champion Award from the International Medical Corps. The actress has been a longtime advocate of the humanitarian organization. Her dear friend Jennifer Garner presented Greer with the honor at the group's annual celebration in Los Angeles.
You tend to choose people because they worship you, not because of any actual merit on their part.
Maggie is brilliant.
Is she? Does she just think you're brilliant?
The Gotham Awards think After the Hunt is brilliant. Director Luca Guadagnino and star Julia Roberts are set to receive the 2025 Gotham Awards Visionary Tribute for the film. The 35th annual Gotham Film Awards ceremony is December 1st in New York. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I don't feel comfortable.
The numbers show the housing market is stabilizing in Canada. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more on that.
Fewer Canadian homes changed hands last month compared to a year earlier. There was a 4.3% drop in sales in October, but month to month, home sales were up about 1%. Sales were up in BC, Alberta, and Quebec, but down in Ontario, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. The national average sale price in October was just over $690,000. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.17. West Texas Intermediate crude is down just 9 cents to 59.86. Western Canadian Select is up $1.55 to 48.45. And the TSX is down another 250 points today to 30,076. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold down $35, closing the day at $40.45, 80 US an ounce. Silver slipped 41 cents to end the day at $50.21. Copper down a penny, and nickel down 6 cents, ending the day at $6.59 US a pound. And Amanda's back now for one last look at your Tuesday weather.
Thanks, Tony. You're definitely going to want some sunglasses, but you'll still want that winter jacket. So Sudbury, Timmins, and Sault Ste. Marie, mainly sunny skies. Chance of flurries in Timmins and Sault Ste. Marie between -2 to 2 degrees there. And then finally for North Bay, we're going to be sitting at the freezing mark with some sunny skies there. Parry Sound, mainly sunny skies. And Temiskaming Shores, a few clouds, but we're still seeing some sunshine. So a pretty nice day overall. Tony.
Thanks for that, Amanda. And finally, people were climbing the CN Tower in Toronto this weekend as part of an annual United Way event.
It's an exciting event bringing together 6,000 participants over the weekend.
Participants climbed the CN Tower's 1,776 steps to raise money for the United Way Greater Toronto chapter. They're aiming to raise $1.5 million, with the money going toward food, housing, mental health, and employment supports. I'm sure they'll be tired after that walk. And folks, that's CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.